So, hi everyone. My name is Rakshith. So, I completed my master's in artificial intelligence and robotics from University of Hertfordshire, London. So, today I'll be taking a webinar on Claude 2 by Anthropic. So, yeah, these are the table of contents which I'll be going through today. So, I'll be going through about Anthropic and Cloud, capabilities of Claude 2, its features, Claude to architecture, use cases and applications. So comparing Claude to AI with GPT-4, ethical AI practices, and later I'll be going through the practical side of it through the code base. So basically, Claude was founded in 2021. It was focused on safe artificial general intelligence. So which means Anthropic is a company who found Claude 2. So it was founded by Dario Amodi and Daniela Amodi in 2021. So their mission was basically is to build AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, that will be harmless, honest, and helpful. So they wanted to basically ensure AI safety as advanced systems, which becomes more capable and autonomous, wherein it involves technical research into making AI alignment with human values. So Anthropic takes a constitutional AI approach that constrains model behavior during training to learning human preferences and common sense. So this Claude is a flagship product. It is a conversational AI assistant. So Claude is an Anthropic's first product which showcases their approach to safe AI. So it is an AI assistant just like GPT, which can engage in natural language conversations. So Claude demonstrates competence in areas like reasoning, creativity, social awareness, avoiding harmful, awareness while avoiding harmful, deceptive, and biased responses. Users can also chat with Claude to get explanation, ideas, general advice while testing its capabilities. So how we converse with Chat GPT. So in the same way, we can converse with Claude as well. So to provide overview of Claude's current capabilities, Claude can understand natural language, coherent dialogues, and can access broad general knowledge on most topics. So it can decline inappropriate, dangerous, or illegal requests while explaining. So Claude also aims for truthfulness, avoidance of bias, and transparency about its limitation. Its conversational abilities and common sense knowledge are constantly improved through self-supervised learning. So basically, Claude has improved performance and long responses, which can be accessed via API. So it uses Anthropic API. The Claude uses Anthropic API itself. So when compared to the previous version of Claude, so they have made improvements in the Claude 2. So they have tested few of the coding, math, and reasoning examples. So for example, in the latest model, in the multiple choice section of the bar exam, so the this model has scored 76.5%, whereas the Claude 1.3, the previous model has scored of 73.0%. So Claude 2 can score above the 90% percentile in GRE reading and writing exams as well. So Claude 2 has 100,000 tokens where users can input in the prompt, which means the Claude can work over hundreds of pages of technical documentation or even a book. There are few videos. So after this explanation, I'll be showing those videos. So in addition to that, so it is also great in coding skills. So Claude 2 had scored 71.2%, up from 56% from Codex human evaluation, a Python coding test. So and also a large set of grade school math problem. It scored 88%, from up to 85.2%. So Claude 2 was 2x better at giving harmful responses compared to Claude 1.3. Although no model is immune for jailbreaks, so a safety techniques, they have used a variety of safety techniques, where one of it is extensive red teaming to improve its outputs. So basically, Claude 2, one of the partner or customer, we can say, it uses Claude 2 API. So one of their partners called Jasper. So they are the generative API platform. So that enables individual and team to scale their content strategies. So they found out that Claude 2 was able to go head to head with other state of art models for a wide variety of use cases. So Claude 2 has, so as I said, it is good in reasoning, math, and it is also good in coding as well. So for coding, there is one platform. So it is called as a source graph. So source graph is a code AI platform. The coding assistance used by Claude is Cody. So basically, it has improved reasoning ability to give more accurate answers to the user queries. So if you are stuck with coding errors or something, so Cody is a built-in tool which you can install it in Visual Studio or any other platform. So in the left side of the panel, you would get a Cody platform where you can copy paste the code and it suggests where the code has been went wrong. So that is the strong point of Claude. So here is a small video of Claude.
AI just got a whole lot more interesting with Anthropic's new AI chatbot, Claude 2, and it comes ready to challenge ChatGPT. Developed by Anthropic, a rising star in the AI world, which was founded by former OpenAI research executives. And you know what? They just might be OpenAI's worst nightmare. So Claude 2 is the second generation of Anthropic's AI chatbot, and it's a huge improvement over the previous version. Honestly, it can do amazing things that ChatGPT can't, like summarize up to about 75,000 words, compared to GPT-4's 3,000 words. That means Claude 2 can transform large data sets into concise summaries, which is super useful for researchers, journalists, students, and anyone who needs to digest a lot of information quickly. Imagine being able to read a whole book in a minute, or get the gist of a complex report in seconds. That's what Claude 2 can do for you. It's based on a deep neural network that learns from a large corpus of text data, just like ChatGPT. But Claude 2 has some unique capabilities that make it stand out from the crowd. In fact, it has done better than its previous version on various intelligence and reasoning tests. For example, it scored 76.5% on the multiple choice section of the bar exam, compared to 73% before. That's higher than the average human score of 74%. In a Python coding test, it scored 71%, up from 56% in the previous version, which means that it is capable of writing code at a professional level. And when it comes to grade school math problems, it scored 88%, up from 85%. So if you allow it, Claude 2 could excel at your math homework. But how did Anthropic manage to create such a powerful AI chatbot? Well, it took them a lot of time and effort. According to their website, they have a team of 30 to 35 people dedicated to building Claude 2, with a total support of around 150 people. That's a lot of brain power behind this project. And they have some big names in the AI field as well. Daniela Amadei, the co-founder and CEO of Anthropic, is a former research director at OpenAI, where she led the team that created GPT-3, the predecessor of GPT-4. She also happens to be the sister of Dario Amodei, another co-founder of Anthropic and former VP of research at OpenAI. Daniela Amadei has said that there is a huge business demand and a market gap for AI chatbots like Claude 2. She believes that Claude 2 can help people with various tasks and problems that require natural language understanding and generation. She also thinks that it can be more trustworthy and reliable than other AI chatbots because it has been designed with safety in mind. The safety of AI chatbots is a serious concern as they can spew out harmful or offensive content, potentially impacting people and causing issues. For instance, ChatGPT has a track record of generating texts which can be racist, sexist, or violent. This isn't just about hurting feelings. It could cause real-world harm to users or even broader societal issues. The folks at Anthropic are beating the drum about their AI, Claude 2, claiming it's safer than ChatGPT. They say it's been fed with more up-to-date and varied information that mirrors today's societal expectations. They also tout the safety measures they've put in place to stop this bot from turning out damaging content or falling prey to nasty users. They're pretty proud, saying that Claude 2 is twice as good at dishing out harmless responses compared to its earlier version, according to their own testing. But let's be clear, that's a murky claim. Does it mean Claude 2 is half as likely to spit out harmful stuff? Or is it twice as likely to produce harmless output? And how do they measure harmlessness anyway? Anthropic really needs to clear up these points if they're going to convince us that Claude 2 isn't just another problem waiting to happen. Even though safety is a big hurdle for Claude 2 and the entire AI sector, it's not the only one. Another problem is what's called hallucinations, which is when AI chatbots come up with wrong answers or details that don't have any evidence or logic behind them. This happens because AI chatbots aren't truly grasping what they're saying or writing. They're just copying language patterns they've picked up from the data they've learned. But sometimes these patterns might be wrong or confusing, and the AI chatbots can't tell the difference. Daniela Amadei has openly said this is an issue for all language models, not just Claude 2. She's explained they're working to make Claude 2's answers more accurate and consistent, and also to make the system more clear and understandable. She's also made it clear they're not saying Claude 2 is without problems or mistakes. Instead, she's saying it's a move towards building more helpful and safer AI chatbots. So you're wondering how Claude 2 stacks up against other AI chatbots out there? It's best to look at ChatGPT first for a comparison. Now, ChatGPT is built on GPT-4, which is the newest and biggest language model from OpenAI. This model has a staggering 175 billion parameters, while Claude 2 has 100 billion parameters. Think of parameters like the controls on a soundboard. They decide how the AI processes data and produces results. ChatGPT is highly respected, and many believe it's the top AI chatbot in the world. It's capable of creating clear and varied texts on pretty much any topic. Plus, it can look up information on the internet, which Claude 2 can't do, but can only search through documents. Millions of people have used ChatGPT for lots of different things, ranging from fun and games to learning to business needs. It's also led to the creation of many applications and platforms that use its programming interface, or API, like Replica, Jarvis, and Copy AI. But don't count out Claude 2 just yet. It's got a few tricks up its sleeve that give it an edge over ChatGPT, making it a real competitor in the AI chatbot game. For starters, Claude 2 can produce longer texts and summaries than ChatGPT. This means it is better at handling more complicated tasks that need a lot of info and analysis. And Claude 2 performs better on certain intelligence and reasoning tests than ChatGPT, like the bar exam and the Python coding test. This shows that it could be more useful and dependable for tasks that call for logic and problem-solving skills. Another advantage that Claude 2 has over ChatGPT is the price of its API. If you want to use ChatGPT for your business or project, you have to pay a hefty fee to access its API. According to OpenAI's website, the price is 12 cents per 1,000 tokens, which is equivalent to approximately 750 words. And that's for the premium tier, which gives you access to more features and support depending on the context window size. That's a lot of money for an AI chatbot that can sometimes give you harmful or inaccurate outputs. But with Claude 2, you don't have to break the bank to use its API. According to Anthropic's website, the price of Claude 2 API is the same as Claude 1.3 API, which is $0.0465 to generate 1,000 words. That means you can use it for a fraction of the cost of ChatGPT and get better performance, longer responses, and safer outputs. That's a great deal for anyone who wants to leverage the power of AI chatbots for their business or project. And if you just want to try Claude 2 for fun or personal use, you can do that for free on Claude AI, where you can chat with it in natural language and ask it for help with any tasks that you like. Of course, ChatGPT is not the only AI chatbot that Claude 2 has to compete with. There are also other models from other companies that have their own strengths and features. For example, there is Bard, the AI chatbot from Google, which is an early experiment that lets you collaborate with generative AI. Bard is based on Google's Palm 2 model, which has 11 billion parameters and can perform various natural language tasks. Bard is now publicly available in the US and the UK and will support more languages soon. Google has showcased some of its outputs on its blog and YouTube, and they look pretty impressive. So what does the future hold for Claude 2? And how will it disrupt the landscape of AI chatbots? Well, Anthropic has said that they have an exciting roadmap of capability improvements planned for Claude 2, and that they will be slowly and iteratively deploying them in the coming months. They have also said that they are working to make Claude more globally available and accessible to more people and businesses. They have also hinted that they are working on other projects besides Claude 2, such as vision models and reinforcement learning models. But other AI companies are also working on improving their models and creating new ones. The competition is fierce and the stakes are high. The AI chatbot market is expected to grow from $17 billion in 2020 to $102 billion by 2026, according to a report by Markets and Markets. That's a lot of money and opportunity for anyone who can create a better AI chatbot than the rest. What do you think? Is Claude 2 going to destroy ChatGPT? Or will ChatGPT remain the king of AI chatbots? Or will another model emerge and surprise us all? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more AI content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
So, Rakshith, there is a question. Is this video generated by Claude 2 or is it available in public domain?
It's available in public domain.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can share the link in AI Lab group later when you get a chance.
Sure. Yeah. So from the Anthropic website itself, so I have one more.
I mean, there's no sound. If in case there is a sound, we can't hear it. It's just video. Yeah, there's no sound.
Yeah.
So what's the max context length today as of Claude 2.1? Do you know?
As of Claude 2.1, yeah, like, so basically they have increased the tokens. So Claude 2, it was 100,000 tokens. So Claude 2.1, it is like 200,000 tokens. So roughly they can translate around 150,000 words, or can write a whole book of 500 pages of materials.
Awesome. So it can read and interpret an entire book of 500 pages.
Entire book of 500 pages.
Nice. So the GPT-4, can it do that, or Bard for that matter, or Llama 2?
No, I don't think so.
So you're saying Claude is the only
Claude,
one that can read a whole book, huh?
Yes.
Amazing. Okay.
And in the video I showed in PPT, so they mentioned something about hallucinations. So Claude 2.1 has decreased 2x hallucination rates. So basically, hallucination rate is we can refer to how often the AI assistant Claude makes up information or give responses that they don't accurately reflect, right? So in the real world, in 2.1, they have decreased 2x amount of it, so that now they can now make up or inaccurately respond to false information at half of the rate of the previous versions.
So There's a question: are we going to discuss the pricing comparisons between Chat GPT 4 and Claude 2? That is, there are many questions. Actually, you can check the chat yourself at some point, Rakshith, or maybe now.
Okay.
The problem with Google Meet is you can't see the chat on the side.
Yeah.
Unless you go to the Google Meet. In Zoom, I think you can see that.
Yeah. So pricing comparisons, token-wise pricing comparisons, I think the video gave a brief, like the small example of how pricing varies when compared to GPT for 1,000 tokens, how GPT charges, and what Claude 2 charges. So Claude 1.3, what it was charging, the same charges like $0.046 for 1,000 tokens. So it charges the same. For GPT, I think it was like $0.12 for 1,000 tokens.
There's more questions by Andre, I think.
So, Andre, like, I didn't get, this is a question or information? Sorry.
I think it's a comment. So
Okay.
GPT-4 Turbo, is it able to compete with Claude 2 now?
Certain ways, yes.
120
like wordings wise, generating, like if I ask GPT to generate a book or to summarize the whole story, I think at one point of time the GPT breaks, but Claude 2, as they have mentioned, like it can write a whole book, and it can also interpret.
Sounds great.
I think one more feature is that GPT-4 is venturing into more modalities like images and audio, while Claude is still text only.
Yeah. So probably, like as in the video said, coming months. So one advantage is the developers of Claude 2 are already have already worked on GPT. So that is one advantage of Claude. So basically, what GPT has, they can implement one by one in a different way in Anthropic's Claude.
Okay.
Okay. So next we'll go to the capabilities of Claude 2. So first I'll tell the point and I'll give the explanations of it. So it can basically understand the natural language prompts. So can engage in intelligent dialogue, access common sense knowledge and reasoning, more natural and contextual conversation, customizable for different use cases. So what does it mean, like saying it understands natural language prompts? So Claude 2 has ability to comprehend and interpret human language in a natural and conversational manner. So basically, it can understand the meaning and intent behind text or voice inputs. So allowing the users to interact with it using everyday language, questions, and prompts. So it can engage in intelligent dialogue and provide helpful information. So Claude 2 is basically designed to engage in the meaningful and intelligent conversation with users. So it doesn't just respond with the pre-programmed or static answers, but it can also provide dynamic and relevant information in response to the user queries. So it can carry on conversations and offer valuable insights or assistance. So it can access common sense knowledge and reasoning. So Claude 2 is equipped with a repository of common sense knowledge, which enables it to reason and respond based on the general principles, so which can be widely accepted facts. So this knowledge base, it helps it to provide more accurate and contextual relevant answers. So more natural and contextual conversations. So unlike earlier AI models, so that may produce disjointed or unnatural responses. So Claude 2 is designed to create more natural and context-aware conversations. It can also maintain the context of a conversation over a multiple interactions, which makes the discussion feel more like human-like and coherent. So customizable for different use cases. So Claude 2 can be adapted and customized for various applications and industries. So whether it's for the customer support, or it can be for the healthcare, education, or any other fields. So it can be configured and tailored to meet the specific needs and requirements of the different use cases. So coming to features of Claude 2. So Claude 2, it has an advanced summarization capabilities. So it can demonstrate a strong summarization capability, like abilities. So which able to distill key facts and themes from large volumes of text. So it also allows user to quickly understand the essence of complex materials. And integration of safety principles and ethical guidelines. So Anthropic has mainly focused on integrating principles of AI safety and ethics, so into Claude 2's model architecture and training. So as in the video, we saw they said Chat GPT is kind of racist and give a racist kind of answers and everything, So whereas in Claude 2, they are like training the model in such a way that it gives safer side answers through uh, trustworthy conversations which we make. So which will prompt and also mitigates the potential harms. So industry recognitions and thought leadership in AI safety. So Anthropic is considered as industry leader in artificial general intelligence safety research. So its founders are recognized experts who publish papers and speak at major AI conferences. So uh, they are the OpenAI former employees. So creative applications like Claude 2 artistic abilities. So unlike conversational AI, Claude 2 shows an ability to generate creative prose, poetry, and art when prompted. So if you say you need a story on so and so, it can generate an entire story of what topic you're asking. Or if you ask a poem on any topic or any word, it generates the whole poem. So uh, Claude 2, it's kind of good. So it basically expands its potential applications. So technical capabilities like coding, language support, and document analysis. So Claude 2 exhibits technical skills like respond to code, understanding multiple languages, and analyzing documents. Combined with communication skills, it demonstrates a multi-modal AI. So have one video in. This is like the coding with Claude, how interactive it is.
So you're saying Claude 2 generates very good code as well, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so it competes with something like Code Llama.
Code Llama, yeah. I just muted the sound because it's just a background music, so there's no wording saying in it.
Now, Rakshith, can it generate charts, graphs, images?
Images, no. I have tried it, so it can give the link of the image. So some can be opened and some cannot be.
Does it produce charts and graphs? Or infographics for that matter?
Infographics, no. Like I have tried with images. Like I was asking, so I wanted few images with Claude 2 itself. So I was asking to it to generate few images where I could use it. So it was just generating a link like image : HTTPS, something like that. But most of them like was like a false image links where I couldn't open, or there was a 404 error.
Bard could do charts,
Yeah,
but
but
it's very basic charts in my experience. Every time I try to complicate it, it just makes it haywire.
yeah.
I mean, we ran a LLM hackathon about 1.5 months back, and we saw a team present a very good chatting solution with GPT. So all they had to do was just ask it to generate Plotly code, right? So it generates Plotly code, and then you run that code within context, and it creates the relevant chart, which can be quite sophisticated charts and graphs. So that was a very simple hack to produce good charts. Yeah.
So like ChatGPT and Claude both can help solve errors in coding. So one advantage is like, so when we like we want something immediate. So for example, if we get a burger in hand, so we don't tend to cook the whole meal from the scratch. So the Claude is like burger here. So it has a tool which I said Cordy. So that can be used in Visual Studio next to each other. So you're coding, you got an error, you can just copy paste in left side. You get the revised code of it. You can just paste it back. So it's not like you have to change tab, copy there, then again check, then again copy from GPT, then paste it back, then run again. So that one advantage we have in Claude. So this is with the context window, like multiple documents upload video. So this is introduced in Claude 2.1, the new version of it. This has been introduced in 2.1. So yes. So next, coming to Claude 2 architecture. So it is built on the constitutional AI principles. So constitutional AI, it refers to constraining an AI system's training to ensure it remains honest, helpful, and harmless. So Claude 2 learns appropriate responses by optimizing its predictions against Anthropic's safety-focused constitutional rules. So self-supervised learning system. So Claude 2 trains largely through self-supervision on massive data sets rather than manual data labeling. This allows it to develop general competencies by learning patterns on its own from diverse information. It focuses on safety, accuracy, and truthfulness. So safety procedures tests test for potential harms during training to avoid unsafe responses. High standards for accuracy and truthfulness helps Claude to give reliable information. Anthropic research improves AI alignment with human values. It can decline harmful instructions. Claude 2 can recognize potentially dangerous, unethical, and illegal requests and politely decline to follow them. So basically, this prevents misuse while maintaining a friendly conversational flow. So it handles unknowns gracefully. So when faced with questions beyond its knowledge, Claude 2 aims to offer honest admissions of uncertainty rather than guessing. So it tries to provide helpful but limited responses when operating outside its capabilities. So some of the use cases and applications of it. So customer service and support agents. So AI assistants can be highly effective at handling routine customer inquiries, freeing up humans for more complex issues. So AI can provide a 24/7 availability. So basically, like before, we don't have to like call customer care, like wait for the line to connect and everything. So now, as chatbots are in place, we can ask the basic questions. If we don't get the problem solved, then it can be connected, or sometimes most of the chatbots give options whether to continue the chat with us or an advisor calling back to the registered mobile number. So that's good. The next one is research and content generation. So assistants can rapidly synthesize information from various sources into summarizes, reports, and content drafts, saving humans time. Creative assistance and ideation. So AI models can provide fresh ideas and creative contents for things like poems, stories, slogans, when prompted. Personalized education and tutoring. So assistants can adapt to a student's learning style and pace. So providing customized tutoring and guidance to enhance education. And last is healthcare and medical advice with humans oversight. So AI can provide basic medical information to patients, which can understand the symptoms, track health data, while referring more serious issues to doctors.
Is it multilingual, Rakshith? Can it take multilingual input and output?
No, I don't think it's like Palm 2. Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah. No. Like Palm 2 could take multilingual, but Claude 2, no.
Rakshith, have you tried using Claude 2? I'm just trying to use a free version. Kind of use attachments, even the word limit is pretty low in that. Is it only the pro functionality that it has?
Yeah, like in free version, there is a certain limit, but in pro version, yeah, like it helps giving more words and contexts when compared to free version.
Okay. Because in the pro version support also, it's saying of the limit of the free version, and that's pretty low word capability.
So this basically it is based on the token buying. So even in GPT, like the more tokens we buy, the more word it generates. One advantage is Claude 2 has a lesser rate than GPT. So yeah, that is one advantage.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So now let's compare two titans like Claude 2 AI and ChatGPT 4. So contextual understanding, bias and behavior, domain expertise, transparency and explainability. So contextual understanding. So Claude 2 AI, it takes the lead in maintaining contextual and delivering coherent responses in conversation, especially in domain-specific discussions. So whereas ChatGPT, however, excels in handling longer conversations and exhibit improved context retention, making it ideal for extended interactions. Bias and behavior. ChatGPT for integration of reinforcement learning from human feedback has resulted in better behavior and reduced bias, showcasing OpenAI's commitment to responsible AI. Wherein Claude 2 AI focuses on explainability, so it might require additional effort to minimize bias in specific contexts. Domain expertise. Claude AI tools specify training in domain-specific language makes it a strong contender for industries requiring technical jargon. So, whereas in ChatGPT 4 offers a broader knowledge base suitable for general research, content creation, and casual conversations. Transparency and explainability. So Claude 2 AI places emphasis on transparency and explainability, which is beneficial for critical applications where understanding AI decisions is crucial. So wherein GPT-4, it aims for transparency, but focuses more on refining behavior and reducing the bias. So here are few ethical AI practices, uh, like few points on ethical AI practices. So one is extensively tested for safety and bias. So when Anthropic has done an extensive testing on Claude 2 to minimize the potential harms and bias during conversation. So this includes technique like adversarial triggering and red taming to surface the unsafe behavior. Subject to ethical review process. So in addition to internal reviews, so Anthropic has an external researchers which evaluate Claude 2 on safety criteria and make recommendations to strengthen the ethic policies. Transparent about capabilities and limitations. Anthropic provides a clear documentation about what Claude 2 is and is not, and what is it not capable of doing it. So the context it is meant for and its reliability limitations. This sets an appropriate expectations with the users. Sorry. So it is made available for third-party audits. So as an industry leader in AI safety, Anthropic is open to independent testing and audits of Claude 2 by outside researchers to validate its responsible design. Responsible guidelines for use cases. So Anthropic provides guidance to customers on appropriate use cases for Claude 2, which is based on the capabilities and prohibit unethical applications that could cause harm. Sorry. So there is one small video. This is the API workbench video. I forgot the second. any questions? Like, next we'll be going through the code practical side of it. So
Yeah, any questions, audience? You have a code demo also, right?
yes.
Okay. You can go to code demo. Just check the chat if there are any questions there.
Yeah. So before moving to code demo, so I have made few like summarized points. So probably which could help. So I'll share this document as well. So which I have. So basically, Claude uses a transformer-based neural network architecture, which is similar to GPT-3 and other large language models. So it is trained on Anthropic's constitutional AI dataset, which focuses on safe and beneficial conversational AI. Claude fine-tunes the base model with supervised learning from human feedback to optimize for capabilities like open domain dialogue. The core algorithm is auto-regressive neural language modeling to predict the next token or word based on previous context. So Claude 2's model size is reportedly around 10 billion parameters, giving it a strong conversational ability. So it utilizes techniques like a mixture of experts to combine different submodels into one unified model. Claude incorporates safety features like content filtering, intent classification, and tone detections, etc. The training process leverages massive computational resources like TPU pods for efficiency. So next we'll be going through the code. So I'll start with the import statements. So I'll go through the code one by one. So this code basically begins with import statements for necessary libraries and modules. So basically curl underscore CFFI, it seems to be a library for making HTTP requests. JSON is used for handling JSON data. OS is imported, although it's not used in code snippet. UUID is imported for generating random UIDs. So we have a Claude class which is defined by init. So this class is the main part of the code, so which is used to interact with Claude AI service. So the constructor init initializes the instance of the class. It takes a cookie as a parameter, which is used for authentications. So inside that constructor, it initializes various instances, instance variables, which includes self cookies and self-organization UIDs, self-conversation UIDs. It also calls get organization and get conversation methods as well. So in this get conversation UID method, so this method basically sends an HTTP get request to this particular link to retrieve the organization's UID. So it uses the cookie for authentication, and if the request is successful, so the status code for successful is 200. So if the request is successful, it extracts the UIDs from JSON response and store it in the self-organization method. So that is what this code do. So basically it sends the get requests. So And the next is the random get random UID method. So this method, so it basically generates a random UID using the UUID module, and it returns a string. This one, it returns a string. Then it goes to the conversation UID method. So once it goes to get conversation UID, so this method retrieves the conversation ID associated with the organization. So the one which is associated with the organization, it retrieves that ID, and it sends the GET request to the relevant URL, and uses the cookie for authentication. So here somewhere they use the cookie for authentication. So if there are no previous conversation, the response will be empty. So basically, it creates a new conversation by calling create new. You see here. So create underscore new underscore conversation basically creates a new conversation method. Otherwise, it selects the most recent conversation. So if you want to create a basically creating a new conversation, this method is used to create a new conversation. So if you want to create a new conversation, this code is used. So basically, it sends a post request. So it won't send a get request. It sends a post request for creating a new conversation to the relevant URL which is mentioned, which includes a randomly generated UID on payload. So
maybe you can increase the font a bit. It's a little hard to read.
Oh, okay. Is it fine now?
One more. Yeah. Better.
Okay.
So this is available as a downloadable or only as API?
Downloadable.
So are you saying this totally open source, huh?
Yeah.
So how they monetize it then? Like how does Anthropic monetize Claude ecosystem? If I can download the LLM locally, I'm not paying them anything. Like Llama doesn't monetize for Facebook, I suppose, similarly. But GPT is only API, so OpenAI is monetizing it. But how does the Claude monetize for Anthropic?
Basically, Anthropic has left to the user experience. So they are open for any user feedback, human feedback. So
no, I mean, it didn't answer my question. Are they monetizing Claude or not?
Vivek, Claude has a pro version as well, like ChatGPT has.
I see. Got it.
Right, and yeah, so they can monetize using that.
Got it.
okay, yeah. Who was I? Create new conversation. Okay. So here we give a post request. So it randomly creates a UID in the payload. So if the request is successful, it stores the new conversation and the self conversation underscore UID here. So if the conversation is successful in creation, so that will be stored in this method. So the conversation is called UID. Else the request it prints the request is failed. So giving the response code, status code of it. So to get answer, this method is used to get answers from the Claude AI service. So basically, till now we were they were generating. So if the a new conversation is not there, we were creating the new conversation. So if the conversation is there, they can continue from that conversation. So for that conversation to happen, when you ask, so you need an answer from Claude service. So there we from get answer method. So this basically sends a post request to the given URL, the URL link. So it includes a JSON payload with conversation and message details, including the prompt. So then it processes the response to extract the completion values from lines, starting with data. Might be somewhere. And it returns them. So basically, this code is structured as a class that encapsulates the functionality related to interacting with the Claude AI service. So it provides method to authenticate, manage conversation, and retrieve the answers to user prompts. So this code is a part of larger application that interacts with Claude AI service. So the basically output of this would be the text responses from the Claude for whatever prompts are passed in the get answer method. So it allows having a back and forth conversation repeatedly by calling the get answer method. Yes, Vivek, like there is a small code base which I got. So like any questions so far? Vivek? Hello?
Okay. Any other questions, audience? Rakshith, are we done?
Yes, Vivek.
So, good session. Audience, any other questions? So, good introduction to Anthropic Claude 2. But feel free to ask any final questions before we end the webinar. Can we see the code in action? Can you run the code, Rakshith, by any chance?
I tried using it in Visual Studio, but there were a few errors coming up, so I didn't take a chance to run code.
Got it. Okay, audience, any other questions? Okay, so thank you all for joining. I have shared my mobile number. I am Vivek Singhal in the chat. If you are interested in collaborating with us for our AI projects, research, or product development activity, reach out. We also refer good AI talent for hiring. Thank you all for joining. Rakshith, excellent presentation. And thank you very much for your hard work, and look forward to your future sessions. All right.
Thank you, everyone. Hope it was a little helpful.